5 and 5, 4. All right, man. What's going on, y'all? We here after an amazing lecture. You understand what I'm saying? This weekend we had a lecture on Saturday. The last so like y'all got where's the light is kind of bright in my eye. All right, so we had our lecture on the state of white supremacy this Saturday. You know what I mean? Last Saturday, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the brothers and the sisters who helped out to make that a success. Shout out to the brothers that was on Shamar that whole night. You know what I'm saying? That really didn't get to enjoy the lecture like they would have probably wanted to. But big shouts out to them. Robert Carr, if you could check the feed, make sure everything's coming through cool. So shout out to those brothers. Shout out to Just Starting Paint, Kana. What's going on? Shalom, Yahal, Shamar, Thamba, Shimi, Shai, Ayar, Bon Yashikar. All right. So, the lecture was real good. We got a chance to, I had a chance to go into like some psychology and stuff like that from people like, classical conditioning. I got to go into, the social learning theory. I got to go into what else I get to go into? Operant conditioning and stuff like that. So I was able to show like from how we're controlled by the oppressor, how he's able to control us today. Being as though we're not physically in chains, we're not on no plantation. So how is he able to control us and keep us in captivity? That's what I wanted to show and prove to the people that came to the lecture of how it's actually being done, how the oppressor controls us each and every day, how he controls our brains. And because he controls our environment, he can control our behavior. So essentially what the oppressor does is he creates the kind of behavior that he hates. So that then it justifies the exploitation of the people. You know what I'm saying? And he uses it by studying and doing experiments on rats and pigeons and dogs. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when people go into, like a lot of our brothers and sisters who go into psychology, they misidentify themselves because they are automatically identified with the experimenter, right? Because if you're in psychology class, you're not going to identify with the rat because it's a rat. It's not a human. So you're going to automatically identify with the experimenter. The experimenter is a white man. So the white guy and the black guy who is in psychology class, they're both identifying with the same experimenter, right? But at the same time, the white student, his race is going to be reinforced. His racial status is going to get reinforced because him identifying with the experimenter is more closer to reality. So when we identify with the experimenter, we misidentify ourselves, and then you automatically miseducate it because you're not putting yourself in the right position. And the right position in psychology when it comes to rats and dogs and all of that is the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. We're the rat inside the box. We're the pigeon that's playing ping pong. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go into some of that too. But also, I wanted to, if anybody got any questions, all you got to do is just raise your hand. We'll come right to you. This is the brotherhood class, the sisterhood class too. And this is what is very important for brothers and sisters to understand is that brotherhood and sisterhood is the foundation that we build this nation on. And right now, if you don't understand what brotherhood and sisterhood is, you will find out real soon. Because right now they got, Russia's on high alert with that with those nuclear warheads. And they showing how, the oppressor can literally end the goddamn world. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, in this time right now, all we got to do is sit back and just, get off the pork. Sit back and get with your brothers, get with your people, and be the most upright you could be at this particular time because of what's at stake right now. So, you got the oppressors fighting, and you got our people sitting there talking about pray for Ukraine. Nah, pray for Amir Locke. You know what I'm saying? Pray for the brothers that is right in your hood and right in your neighborhood. Like we'll go, land and sea to go and give support for somebody else that don't have nothing to do with us. I know I heard that those Ukrainians wasn't letting Africans over the border into Poland, right? So, we still for some reason, and this is, extreme way, but that's the way we have to learn. You know, we've always learned that way. We learn through the knowledge of good and evil. That's how we learn. We learn because the Lord got to spank you for you to learn, and we're not supposed to learn that way. You know, we're just supposed to get it right and not have to learn through the knowledge of good and evil. But we have to learn that way. The way we got to learn that the oppressor is against us is by the oppressor constantly staying on our neck. All right. Could I get let me see. This is bedrock right here. I'm going to go to. This will start me off. Hold on. All right, where's it at? Okay, it is going to be, let me get Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. All right. If y'all got any questions, y'all ain't got no questions, y'all good? All right. No sweat. I'll just keep going until somebody do. You know, no sweat. I could keep talking. All right, Dorcas, Yashad. All right, I see you. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal, Latamba, Shem Yahweh Shad, are you? Rib of Officer Yashad. All right, Terrence Bernie. All right, Matazi Allah, what's going on? Power Bob, what's good? You know, the water to you for all the work that you did this weekend. Is it feed? Can y'all hear me on the feed? They can hear me? All right, no sweat. All right, no sweat. We're good to go. There we go. Most High in Christ. All right. So here we are on the brink of the Third World War. And what we got to do is we got to focus. You know what I'm saying? Black History Month just passed, which didn't mean a damn thing. Now it's over. We got our month to where we can embrace being black. Now we got to be all about diversity and inclusion now. Right? Now it's back to business of what it used to be. It's like the normal, regularly scheduled program. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand the psychology behind that and how the oppressor uses us and gives us little things that are symbolic throughout the year as little symbolic gestures, but it's never, ever going to change the status quo. Ever. It's never going to change that. So, yeah, he make you feel black by showing you all the wonderful things that, that got done with the peanut, you know what I'm saying? And make you feel good about, the stoplight and Harriet Tubman and, Garrett Morgan and, all these people that we hear about. They'll make you feel good about Booker T. Washington and Sojourner Truth. You understand? But none of that is going to actually fix the problem that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have in this country under this oppression that we endure, right? So the first thing we have to do is we have to understand who our enemy is. And we don't understand who our enemy is. Why? Because we don't understand ourselves. And because we don't understand ourselves, we don't understand other people, right? The more you know yourself, the more you know other people. Because the more you know yourself as being an Israelite, the more you know about that, the more you'll start to understand and know more about these other nations who constantly oppress us in our neighborhoods, who constantly, exploit us at every single turn. And we got the leadership to prove that we have a record of failure. Remember, I was bringing up, in a lecture, we got leadership that has presided over, decades and decades of HIV, AIDS, gangs, hostility towards, black and brown people, the drug epidemic, COVID-19, everything, a total losing record. And we still continue to vote these people in like they're going to solve the problem between us. All right. Somebody got that for me? All right. You got it, warrior.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 10.
You got to read loud because the brothers at home, we don't got the mic today.
All right. Never trust thine enemy.
Say that one more time.
Never trust thy enemy.
Well, sometimes we try to trust our enemy, don't we?
Never trust thine enemy.
We always do that. We try to figure out a way that we can salvage something in our enemy that would, make us feel good about being ourselves. And that's the problem with us. We want to, seek validation from them, and we have to get the love from them so that we can love ourselves, which is totally backwards. And this is the reason why brotherhood and sisterhood is so necessary, because in order to be in this system that we are under, you have to be completely flipped upside down. That's what you have to be. You have to be the ultimate individual, right? Because without brotherhood and sisterhood, you're an individual. And really, that's what they fought for through civil rights. During civil rights, they fought for us to be individuals. They didn't fight for us to be, on our own and none of that. They fought for us to be an individual. If you look up and you study the civil rights movement, you study the Black Panther movement, you study all those different movements, what they were about was us fighting to be individuals and not have to be forced to be with Black people. That's it. We wanted to have sex with white women. We wanted to be with white women. We wanted to do our own thing and not have to be forced to be with each other. And that right there is the reason why we get destroyed, because we don't see ourselves as a nation.
Right.
We just see ourselves as people, just people just existing here in America. So that's what we fought for. We fought to be individuals. But really, when you think of it, there ain't no individuals. Right?
Right.
Is it? Because last I looked, we buy the same Jordans. We buy the same Jordans. We buy the same Balenciagas. We buy the same Dior shirts. We buy the same jewelry. We buy the same hats. We buy the same everything. We ain't that much. But I'll tell you, it's funny how we try to fight to be individuals, but the same, Chinese people, the same East Indians, the same Arabs, they'll group up collectively and walk right past us and won't spend a nickel with us. You ever notice that? They don't. We know what they got to sell us. What do Chinese people like? We don't even know. Don't even know. You couldn't even. If I told you to go to the store and buy, go to a wholesale spot and buy what you think they like, you wouldn't be able to do it. Right? Go into the store. You got dice, wave caps, socks, black tees, white tees, blunts, cigarettes. You know what I mean? All this, they know exactly what we want. Exactly. You gotta raise your hand. But yeah, the same. Go ahead, Warren. Go ahead. They know exactly what we want. Why? Because they know us better than we know ourselves. But since we don't know ourselves, we don't know other people. Right? And so, since we identify with the oppressor, this is why we hate each other. Because if you identify with the oppressor hates people, hates us. So if you identify with him, then you have to identify with what he loves and what he doesn't love. And one thing that you'll understand is that you have to. You ever notice, like, when you go to, okay, I'll give you an example, right? I was looking at different venues today for another upcoming lecture, right? And they basically had this one venue that was real nice. It had it was nice. I was like, oh, that's pretty nice, And then when I looked on the page, I seen that they ain't have nothing but like Christianity, that up-to-date Christianity, that young, youth pastors, you know what I'm saying? Like, it had like that type of thing. Like, all the lectures was like youth pastors, all that other kind of stuff, right? And it was like real Christian. I said, man, I filled out the thing. I was like, they're not going to approve this lecture. You know what I'm saying? The lecture I put on there, I put it, how to stop black on black crime. They not approving that lecture. They're going to be like, what organization are you from? Google it. Oh, no, they hate blah, blah, blah. And nah, we ain't going to approve it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's because, like, nobody really wants answers of how we can actually be fixed. Right. Nobody really wants that. And that's what the oppressor understands. That's what he's all about. That's what these meetings are all about. All these meetings are just about us coming up with solutions that's not going to work. Right? But it first starts with understanding who our enemy is. That's how we're going to fix ourselves. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Right. You take this piece of iron. I can't pick it up because I've had to move everything out of the way. But you get what I'm saying. You take a pot, you put it in the rain. It might not rust today. It might not rust tomorrow. It might take 2 weeks to rust. It might even take a whole half a year to rust. But it is going to rust nonetheless. Just like the oppressor's wickedness. So yeah, you might see, you know, we might go a few months without nothing happening, but it's gonna happen again, constantly happen again, because we don't understand that his wickedness is like iron rusted, right? Keep going.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself
and
go crouching.
Just like Joe Biden did, just like every other stinking candidate that comes for the black vote. They humble themselves. They'll have hot sauce in their bag. They'll say they like chicken wings, right? Because they know that the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community is stupid and emotional. That's what they understand. That's like you got to understand that. Go ahead, sis.
It's like when Joe Biden came to Chester.
They
were so hyped. He got everybody vote. Just coming there.
Yeah, just coming there. I remember when I was younger, man, Hillary Clinton came to my school, man. I was like this. I ain't never waved like that. Oh, man, I didn't know why I was so happy. I was a kid, but I was happy as hell when she came. I don't know why I was so happy. But you see, you get my point. They come, they know what to do. They know how to humble themselves. They know exactly how to do it because they understand that we're an emotional people and we're dumb, right? To politics. Anybody who voted for Joe Biden, I bet you they can't tell me what his foreign policy is. I guarantee you they can't. I guarantee you they can't even tell me what his anything that he stands on domestically. They can't tell you. Only thing they can tell you is they just wanted to get Donald Trump out of office. So anybody, you just trading one white supremacist for another one. One is just a little bit, you know, he just overt. I mean, just a little bit covert with it. That's all. Neither one of them is just the Republican Party just don't want to give you the illusion of equality, and they would want to give you the illusion of equality, the Democrat Party. So, but all it ends is you're just getting kicked over to one side or the other side, or, you know, and maybe politics actually could work if we had our own party. You know what I'm saying? Like our own party, not a Democrat, not a Republican, somebody who was really on, you know, that came out of us. You know what I mean? That was, you know, from an Israelite standpoint, you know what I mean? Then that would be totally different. Then maybe I'll be like, maybe you might have something. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, as long as it's the same way that it is with this two-party system, nothing ever is going to happen because it's just dumb and it's stupid. Go ahead, keep going, Warrior.
Yet take good heed and beware of him.
Yeah. You said Nahalia said lesser of two evils. It's really not. It's really not the lesser of two evils because they're both evil. There's no less evil than any other. You know what I mean? Evil is evil. You know what I'm saying? It's just one is gonna make you feel like you gonna give you the illusion that they're not evil, but they're still gonna be evil. You know, nonetheless. The other one is just gonna just tell you straight up. I would rather the one that's just gonna tell me straight up. I don't like black people. I'm fine with that. That's cool because now I know how you feel and then you know how I feel, so that we could just coexist and just stay away from each other.
Right.
That's totally fine to me. I would rather have that than somebody saying, you know, it's all coming together. See, we just got to be one big multicultural family, which is never going to work. All right, keep going, Warrior.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
Right, as you wipe the looking glass. You know how like that looking glass, you know that big thing you pull out like that, and you look and you trying to say, well, there's land over there. But before you look through that thing, you got to wipe it. You got to clear it off real quick so you can look and see it clear. And that's what we don't see. We don't see our enemies clear. And because we don't see our enemies clearly, they're able to get us at every point. You could drop that. Any more on that? Go ahead. You got it, Warrior.
And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Right. Exactly. Right now, everybody's scared now because Vladimir Putin is out there saying, you know what? I'm putting everything on high alert. And guess what? you look, when them nuclear weapons go off, you ain't gonna be a bad bee no more. You know, a sister ain't gonna worry about being a bad bee no more. You ain't gonna be worrying about the brother that got a Benz or, you know, a Bentley or a Lamborghini truck. That stuff is gonna go out the window. It's going to completely go out the window because you know what you're going to focus your thing on, your energy on? Getting a man that can fish. Getting a man that can kill a deer, skin it, and drag it out the woods. Ice ain't going to matter. It don't matter how much gold you got on your teeth. It don't matter how much diamonds you got on your teeth when those nuclear weapons go off. Right. When you see like 1 million people get killed. And them nuclear weapons ain't no joke. Them bad boys, one of them joints hit is like 6-mile radius. Vaporized. Boom. Done. And then anything outside of that is radiation poisoning. But what they going but the oppressor is so coward that he'll just fight a nuclear war from the ground. You know what I'm saying? Vladimir Putin will just go underground. Just go underground. I'm pretty sure he got underground bunkers that he could just go in underground, deep underground, miles underground, and he'll just fight a nuclear war underground. The same thing Biden will do. They'll just all the leaders will just go underground. And after it's all said and done, all of them will just come back out. That's what would happen if Christ wouldn't return. They all just come back out later on, like 10 years. They said if it was like a nuclear war would happen, it would be like 10 years of like an ice age. Because with all the dirt and stuff like that from the bombs, it'll just cover the sun. And we'll be in like a nuclear winter for like 10 years. And then after that, it would like clear up. You know what I'm saying? But everything will be destroyed. Most of the people will be destroyed. And then it will just be, a new thing again. Now, that's if Christ didn't return. But then, who would it now, knowing what we know about this oppressor, right? And you got a whole land full of rubble, right? And somebody got to get rid of the rubble and somebody got to start building. Who you think it's going to be? Ding! Right. So this is what we got to understand. It's like if Russia wins, we go into captivity under the Russians. You better learn your Russian. If we go under the Chinese win, get your Chinese up. Because that's what it's going to be. Ain't going to be no more rap music. Ain't going to be no more Black Lives Matter because they don't give a damn about the Constitution. Because that's all we try to fight off anyway. Well, the Constitution says that all men, they don't got that. They don't got no Constitution in China. Right? And so we got to start to come back to our power and come back to, our brothers and sisters. And that is where we'll actually find our real power at. All right? So, all right, Little Christ. Weird seeing you up here this time. Uh-huh. So, was any more on that? Let me get the evil. We teach the evil one our ways. Can I get that one? The evil one our ways. You know what I'm talking about, Tara? The evil one our ways. I think it might be Jeremiah 2:33. Is it hot in here? You cold. Women are always cold, ain't they? I'm cold. All right, you got it? All right, no sweat. Give it to me.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Why do we do that? We do it all the time. We figure out a way we could. You ever notice that? We trim our ways to seek love. This is bedrock stuff that I'm saying right now. But it's very important, especially when we talking about brotherhood and sisterhood. Why are we trimming our ways to seek love? More and more people I'm seeing on TikTok is starting to wake up. They starting to wake up. This African thing that, where they're not letting the Africans into Poland. People starting to say, wait a minute, why is it like this all over the world? Why ain't they letting, Africans into Poland? And people, you know what I mean? Maybe it might take that for our people. Maybe they got to see, racism somewhere else other than here for us to actually wake up and then, smell the coffee. Right. All right. Why do we trim our ways to seek love? Give me more.
Therefore, hast thou taught the wicked ones thy ways?
That's what we do. We teach the wicked ones our ways. Why? Because we let them in. They sit back, take notes, and learn how to destroy us. Everywhere we turn, they know exactly how to destroy you. Why? Because we don't see past the fog. Ain't that what DMX said? The snake, the rat, the cat, the dog. He was trying to tell us. How you gonna see him if you living in the fog? All right. This is why the oppressor knows exactly how to control us, because we don't have no brotherhood. That's why he's able to control us. There is no such thing as black culture. Somebody tell me what black culture is. There is no black culture. I'm sorry to tell you, y'all. I'm sorry. Who's on here? Ayarban Yashikar, I'm sorry to tell you. School J, there is no black culture. We operate on the lowest rung of European culture. And so how will we ever overthrow this supremacy if our values are the same as the oppressors? Because he celebrates Christmas, we celebrate Christmas. He celebrates Easter, we celebrate Easter. You know, he's a filthy homosexual, and we want to be that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So it's like you can't overthrow a system that you share values, the same values with. So we're in turn or just real like stupid out here. And this is what is necessary. It is necessary for us to be dumb and stupid. And because we don't have brotherhood, that keeps us dumb and stupid. Because everybody else knows that with brotherhood and sisterhood that they can go into an untapped market. They can go into an open market and they can exploit the people. So that's what the Chinese know. That's what the East Indians know. They know that the black community is an open market. Like, yeah, come on. They'll let us take anything they got because what? We just want to be loved, right? That's really all it boils down to. I wanted to read y'all this, right? And this is called the social learning theory, right? This is by Albert Bandura. The social learning theory by Albert Bandura. And let me see. Albert Bandura. Salaki. Is this okay. So he got like different chapters in here. And one of the chapters is reciprocal determinism. And it talks about how the environment and a person's behavior is a two-way street, right? So the oppressor is able to, let me read it for y'all. Okay, it's right here. It says, in social learning theories, behaviors is a result of continuous interaction between personal and environmental variables. Environmental conditions shape behavior through learning, right? A person's behavior in turn shapes the environment, and it is a reciprocal relationship. And so, like I said, the oppressor creates the environment, which creates the behavior and the personality. So when you see like the Chinese owning all the stores, when the kids see the East Indians owning all the stores, that's shaping the environment. That's shaping their personality. So what the kids are doing in Chester and in Elkton, here in Wilmington and Philly, they're figuring out a way to cope with the environment because their personality is being formed and created by the oppressor. So like, remember what I said before. So when we look at the kids and we like, well, man, why are the kids shooting each other? They're going crazy because the adults are crazy as hell. And the minute that the adults get their mind right, then the kids will get their mind right. They'll automatically fall in line. You know what I'm saying? Like the kid, like it's like so crazy how, you know, these old folks, you know, they walk down the street with their head up high, you know, from the civil rights movement, big uppity, big head Negroes, big head sisters that went to summa cum laude, you know, deltas, all that, big head Negroes. Think that you're gonna walk down the street and not get robbed when you didn't give anything to the children, no foundation. We actually are complicit in the destruction of our own people. You know what I'm saying? Because if the kids don't have, like, if we take all our money and we go support the East Indians, right? Support the Arabs, support the Chinese, right? When we support them, their kids don't have to be criminals. Right? Because they get supported by us. So we support them not to be criminals. But when we don't support each other, what is our kids going to be? Criminals. Because what are they going to do? They can't get a job on their own side of town because all the jobs are taken up by other nations. See what I'm saying? And this is why this social learning theory is like so Man, it's heavy. I'm going to read some more. It says, a person's behavior in turn shapes the environment. It's a reciprocal relationship. So they create the environment and they create the behavior orientation. And the person with the behavior orientation recreates his environment. So you put a nigga in the hood, everywhere he goes, he's going to create hoods. Everywhere he go. He go over here, he's going to create a hood. Ain't the proof of that? Where all these blood sets out that left out of California, where they at? Texas, Missouri, Florida, New Jersey, Phoenix, New York. It's everywhere because you create an environment, behavior orientation. A nigga's gonna create that same hood everywhere you go. It's psychological, and they pull it on us every single time. They pull it on us every single time. All right, so the other nations, right? They don't see the psychology that's been put on us, so they look at us like we just act that way because we black, but they don't know. They don't have the understanding of how it was created, how the situation was created. You know what I'm saying? It says, okay, right here. This is crazy. I didn't get to go into all this. Right. To predict behavior, we need to know how the characteristics of the individual interact with the characteristics of the situation. To predict behavior, right? Because remember, psychology is about prediction. So how can they predict your behavior? That's always been a contingency, right? A contingency is something that could happen, right? They got books on it, right? Like right here. What's that? Where's that? Right here. Contingencies of reinforcement, right? So they don't know exactly how that's always been a big problem. Like how could they predict behavior, right? Because behaviorism and psychology is all about control, right? So they always was figuring out a way that they could predict behavior the best. But how do you solve your problem of prediction? Blow my mind. How do you, if you're the oppressor and you wanted to control people and you wanted to control the people and you wanted them to see you as the greatest validation of truth. You wanted to create in them an environment where we would hate each other, where we would have disunity, where we would fight. Men and women would fight each other in these relationships, where we would look to TV to find out how a relationship should go or how a marriage should go, where we would fight and we would kill each other. How would he be able to solve his problem of prediction? It's easy. I just said it. Control the environment. That's how. Because when you can control the environment, you know exactly what people are going to do. Just like the rat. You know exactly what they're going to do. They know exactly what you're going to. They know. Okay, think of it like this, right? You take a neighborhood, right? They pump it full of crack cocaine, pump it full of heroin, right? Let it get through. People, they know you bringing it in. Let them get it through. Now they take a crate of guns. Put a crate of guns in an alleyway like they did in Chicago. They put a crate of guns in the alleyway. People start taking the guns. So now you got the drugs, you got the guns. Now the drugs, people selling drugs, people getting strung out on drugs, people are shooting each other over drug turf, money, different things like that, right? So out of that spins prostitution, right? All those things spin out of that. So what's going to happen? People are going to go to jail. The whole system is going to be supported because once you kill somebody, now we got to come clean it up. So the coroners get paid, the lawyers get paid, the defense attorneys, the prosecutors, the judge, the jail, the police, the nurse, the hospitals. Everybody gets the benefit off of our dysfunction that they created. So they create an environment to create the behavior that they hate to justify the exploitation. That's how they do it. And because we're not aware of it, we identify with the oppressor. And it's just we identify with him, we have to hate ourselves. Because remember, it works reciprocally. It's reciprocal. It goes both ways. So like what Christ said was absolutely right without any psychology. You can't have two masters. That's what Christ said. He didn't have this. You know, we reading it now, but Christ didn't have that. He said you can't serve two masters. Can somebody get that for me, please? But where was that? Where was we at, Zerah Bakar? Oh, while we trimming our ways. Right? Look at the y'all see the Super Bowl. I didn't see the Super Bowl, right? But y'all seen the performances and stuff. It's like I thought maybe I was thinking about it too deep because I called Captain Ariel. I was like, am I thinking about this too deep? Why are people? I thought everybody was gonna stand with Colin Kaepernick. I thought so, right? So what does it show the oppressor? That we don't care about black people getting killed by the police. We don't care about that. Nobody should be performing still. To this day, nobody should perform. They should have damn Billy Ray Cyrus up there. You know, that'll be a bad halftime show. Right? Go ahead. Why? Because we just need that symbolic gesture. Right, that they love us and that they're there and they're going to fight for us. But none of it's ever going to work because this place cannot operate equal. They can't. It can't be equal. Are you crazy? You know what equality means. Equality is radical as hell. That's a radical statement. You say, yo, I want to be equal. You think it don't mean nothing, right? But to the oppressor, that means everything. You know what that means? That means all 400 years worth of interest, all the money and the wealth, all the land, all the housing, everything. We want half of it. That's radical. Half of the military, half of the military bases around the world. We want half of everything. We want 25 states. We want 25 states. That's equality. That is so radical to the oppressor. And when you say that to him, he goes out of his mind when you say stuff like that. It's like he goes crazy when you say stuff like that. Because you have the audacity to be a stinking slave cotton picker in America. And you gonna come to me like they love us like they love their dog, right? You love your dog, right? But you don't want them to sit at the table and make decisions about the way the house is going to be ran, right? Imagine that. You got a dog, you come home from work, and he's standing on two legs. He like, I want rights. I want equal rights in this house. Yeah. He got the big piece of chicken on two legs. Come out and talk about, I want equal rights in this house. I'm tired of eating the scraps from underneath the table. You're going to be like, what? I know you ain't walking on 2 feet.
Oh, shoot.
Mm-hmm. Let me get it, Warrior. You got it.
God, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 24.
Right on.
No man can serve two masters.
You can't do it. Zerah Bakar, we tried it. You can't serve two masters. That's what Christ is saying. That's psychology in the scriptures right there. You can't do it. Why?
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
Yes. If you love the oppressor, you're going to hate niggas.
Right.
If you love the oppressors, you're going to hate wetbacks. Right. You're going to hate them. You know what I'm saying? It is a default of doing it. Go ahead.
That's so what you're saying so heavy because that's exactly what they do. When we trying to tell our people to love us, love each other, love one another, they want to say the oppressor.
Right.
They hate us for loving ourselves. They call us a hate group because we love our people. We love Black, Spanish, and Native Americans. They call us a hate group. That's
the psychology I'm talking about. No, go ahead. Finish your point.
No,
I'm sorry.
That was it, sir.
That's the psychology of self-hatred.
Right.
Go ahead, sis.
I don't know if you watched the new show Bel Air.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I heard about it.
Well, they had a scene on there where the white guy he kept saying the word nigga,
Mhm.
And basically, Carlton, he was just like, you know, whatever. Everybody was like condoning it, and Will was like, no, we're not having it.
Mm-hmm.
So Carlton was kind of looking at him like, this is my school, and this is where they're at now. Like,
Mhm.
we have to adapt to this,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Bel Air.
Miller. Hey, could you see me again, Robert Carr? Please, the water. So it's like this, right? Yeah, hook him up. All right. You good? You want to drink or something? You good? You good? All right, yeah, and that's right. Get down. All right, Warrior. Get down. Yeah, you good. Y'all cool. You know what I'm saying? Get down. We got some left over from the lecture too. Go ahead, Warrior. Mm-hmm. Because they try to serve two masters. You know, if you try to serve two masters, you're gonna love one and hate the other. So that's just their way of, because they seeing what works. You know, in a system like this, it works to, you know what I mean? You know, that's what that's called? That's called it's called reflexology. In psychology, it's called reflexology. All right. So I'll give you an example. All right. So when reflexology is like this, right? In psychology, you have positive reinforcement, you got negative reinforcement, you got punishment, right? Those three things can reinforce behavior, right? Then you have classical conditioning, right? Where classical conditioning, and I'm going to get to your point, right? So like you look at classical conditioning, or you look at what they reflexology and psychology, that's where they take a dog and they put a dog in a harness. And what they do is they show the dog an image, like a light, whatever it is. It could be this pen, it could be this phone, it could be a picture. They show the dog the picture and then they shock his hind legs. They show the dog the picture and they shock his hind legs. They show the dog the picture and they shock his hind legs. And they do it over and over and over again, conditioning the dog to associate an image with pain, right? So in America, the image that is associated with pain is being black, is being a Mexican, is being, a Hispanic, is being a Native Indian. Those images are associated with pain. So instead of positively reinforcing you, the oppressor positively reinforcing you, right? They allow you to escape pain. So when they show the dog, they'll show the dog the image, the dog will just automatically jump without getting shocked. He will automatically jump. So is it the image that's shocking the dog? Or is it the shock that's shocking the dog? It's supposed to be the shock, right? So why is the dog jumping when he gets showed the image? Because they're associating pain with an image. And if you constantly show an image that's constantly being degraded, you know what I mean? Constantly being scandalized, constantly being oppressed, that image is associated with pain. So when you see a person sees black, a Hispanic sees Mexican, they like, man, I can't be Mexican. That's too painful. So I'll identify with the oppressor and hate black people because this allows me to escape from being a Mexican. See what I'm saying? It's all psychology that's being played. Classical conditioning. Go ahead, Warrior.
That's the same thing like the Cubans. They don't identify as black.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Mexicans, the same thing.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. But you know what? We got Mexicans in this school, so-called Mexicans in this school. We got Cubans in this school. We got Native Indians in the school. We got Dominicans in the school that have came out of that hell that they was in. They escaped the Skinner box. You know what I'm saying? And that's the real thing. That's the miracle, because we was allowed to escape out of it. But then you got, classical conditioning, right? And we're talking about the psychology of self-hatred. You got classical conditioning. So classical conditioning is this, right? They take a dog. You see where I'm going with this? They take a dog. They put him in a harness. They always do that, right? You put him in a harness and you take a bell, right? So say you got, in order to condition somebody, you take two stimuli, right? So you take a bell, right? and how they developed this experiment was they took a dog, they put him in a harness, and they would give the dog food, and they would measure the dog's salivation by the food that they gave him, right? They would measure it. They would see how much salivation, like they would have these things in the side of his mouth that would measure how much the dog would salivate from being presented the food. So what they would do is they would ring the bell and give the dog food. They would ring the bell and give the dog food. Ring the bell and give the dog food. So now you're taking these two stimuli, one of them is neutral and the other one invokes a response. Now the neutral one gains power now, the one that didn't mean anything. Because now it gets to a point after conditioning the dog so much, they could just ring the bell and his mouth start watering. So now how does that relate to race relations? Whenever you hear white, what is it associated with? Good. White. Good. White.
Money.
Good. White.
Greed.
White.
Houses.
White.
Rich.
White.
Wealth.
White.
Family.
White.
Power.
White.
Military.
Right. White. Smart. White. Smart. White. Smart. White. Smart. White. Smart. White. Smart. Right? Smart. White. Right. It goes both ways. So now, good. White. Civilization. White. Good hair. White.
White girl. Good.
White girl. Good. That's the Pavlovian, that's the classical conditioning working on you every day, day in and day out. Billboards, music, Instagram, TikTok, cartoons, the news, documentaries. That's the Pavlovian experiment constantly going, the classical conditioning constantly going in your mind. So just imagine being conditioned like that 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 500 years, 2,000 years. Automatically, it just you can't even consciously stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like and then it goes both ways. So when you get conditioned like that, you automatically condition black gangs, black thugs, black hood, black 40s, black single parent, black abortion. Yeah, black, black, right, black, Chicago, right, black ops, right. As soon as you hear ops, don't that sound? It's black ops. Automatically, ops means black. It's black people. Ops. Only black people have ops. You see what I'm saying? This is a conditioning that's constantly taking place. It's the psychology of self-hatred. And we don't understand it because we too busy focused on the things that little children are focused on. Little children. We're not concerned with NATO. We're not concerned with what's going on the national scale right now. You're just scared. We're just scared because, you're not concerned with nothing. Because I still see TikTok and the girls are still on TikTok.
Right.
They still on TikTok. They're still on there. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, that is heavy, man. Because the fact of the matter is that it is definitely fear. Because they know that once it all goes down, they are still going to be on the very bottom.
Right. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You know what I mean? If Russia was to take over, we definitely going to be enslaved.
Right. Right. Because we never put the provisions in place to protect us if integration never fell apart.
Right.
We never put that in place because we think that integration was going to last until the end of time. Right. But just like every marriage, every relationship, they fall out, right? Integration can only be supported by a good economy. Because once the economy falls apart, now that integration falls apart because if the oppressor is going to feed his kids or yours, who do you think he's going to feed? His, right? He ain't going to feed yours. You don't care about your damn degrees that you got from college. You don't care about that. Feed my own kids. So it's like that marriage that we had with the oppressor, we never put provisions in place if that marriage was to ever fall apart. Just like a woman. A woman who marries a man. I always say this, right? A woman who marries a man for power. Like, let's go back to the Victorian age, right? If a woman wanted power, how would she get it? She would marry a man that had power. So if a woman wanted to marry a man that had power, what would she focus all her energy on? Seduction, right? So she would focus her energy on seducing this man. Ain't that what we do to the oppressor? We focus our time on seducing him into being human. Seduce him into being a real Christian. So we feel like we can serenade him. Mary J. Blige can sing "The Skin That I'm In" to Hillary Clinton. Yeah, we can get up there and we can try to serenade them with all the Black Lives Matter speeches. We can get a real good A student, an A+ student, to get up there and "The skin that I'm in. Why do you hate my skin?" We can say all that all day long. We can try to, seduce this oppressor into loving us. So what do? We make sure our hair is long and curly. Make sure we got our body tight, right? But I'm gonna break it down some more. But guess what? He takes the woman, right? He takes the woman. He's all right. But every time she tries to do something better, he always tell her that it's not good enough. So the woman, she might have her hair done. She gets out the hairdresser. She got her nice hair done, and the man say, "Man, you need to lose some weight though." It's like that's our relationship. It's like an abusive relationship, like an abusive marriage that we have with the oppressor. It's like how like one woman be like, "Well, he don't always act like this." See, I don't know him like I know him, right? He just act like that when he's drinking. He just act like that when he's drinking. He ain't really like that. Y'all don't know him. Ain't that what we do to the oppressor? Like a woman. Go ahead. So that's what we do. Like our nation is a woman. A woman trying to be married to the oppressor.
Right.
But we never put the provisions in place to protect us if that marriage fell apart. Because just like a woman who's in an abusive relationship, when the man decides to divorce her, she's in a bad position. Why? Because she never put things in place to protect her if that marriage fell apart. So she don't have no job. She don't have no money saved up. All she got is 10 kids, 20 kids. So once the relationship falls apart, now she's in a worse position than she was when she started the relationship. And that's how we are as a people. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we're going to be in a worse position than we were when we started because we didn't put those things in place because we thought that integration and this love that we have for this oppressor or the love that he has for us will last into the end of time. And there's no historical fact that would prove that relationships last into the end of time. Because if history serves me correctly, maybe I could be tripping, but Rome fell, didn't it? Yeah. Didn't Greece fall? The Greeks was powerful too. Didn't they fall? The Persians fell, didn't they? Everybody fell. The USSR fell. Every great nation in history falls. So what makes you think that America is not going to take their place in history? Like every other nation who has failed, who has risen up to the highest of heights and got taken down, like Egypt. Egypt was great place. It's so great that our people still identify with Egyptians. When there's no record at all in the Egyptian Book of the Dead that niggas are Egyptians. But because they had the power, the money, the gold, it would make sense that we would identify with them because don't we identify with people who have money now? Why? Because when you are permanent underclass, you're always going to try to identify with the people that got bread. You know what I'm saying? We still doing it today. All right, no sweat. Psychology of self-hatred. All right. The psychology of self-hatred. Why do we hate ourselves? Why? Why do we have love for so many other people except for ourselves? Why is it impossible to have brotherhood? And why is it impossible to have sisterhood? But in here, it's not impossible. It's something that you definitely have to do, and you have to fight that demon within yourself. You have to fight that demon. right? And for one, the brothers, that's one thing that we might not have that big of an issue with in here, because it's just different. Salakia, it's just different. Men, we don't have that issue where we can, men, oh man, I had an issue with you. Oh man, you had an issue with me. Oh man, my bad, man. My rib tripping. Blah blah blah. All right, let's go get a drink. All right, let's go. You go to the club, get your boogie on, go home. That's it. Nothing. The sisters like. I remember that from 20 years ago. She wore the same dress that I had on. So that's one of the things that sisters have to work on, right? Just, work on those emotional things that might take you, off of what you was taught, and those are the things that you got to fight. Why? Because you getting into the kingdom of heaven is different than me getting into the kingdom of heaven. Right. So you think that a sister, you're the way that you're going to get into the kingdom of heaven. I'm going to tell you how you get into the kingdom of heaven for sisters. And this is why emotions might run a little high, just to kind of equal the playing field for you to get in to the kingdom of heaven. This is what sisters got to do to get in the kingdom of heaven. Cook. Right. Cook. That's it. Cook spaghetti. Cook lasagna. Cook beans. Cook whatever. Cook. That's it. Hold on, is this thing on? Cook. That's all you gotta do. And the emotions is there to probably maybe even it out a little bit. But how do I get in the kingdom of heaven? How do I get in? I gotta go to camp. I gotta teach class. I gotta get in here. I gotta go to councils. I gotta, have brotherhood. I gotta, be able to lead brothers. I gotta do a lot of stuff. I got to get spit on at camp. I got to get stuff thrown at me. I got to train how to fight. I got to go to Hebrew Academy. I got to, you know what I mean? Yeah. I had stuff thrown at me at camp. It was like we said bad jokes up there. I had people spit at us. Yeah. I had people throw stuff, milk, cheese, everything. They throw it like boo, right? Go ahead.
That's definitely a job for men only. I was out there one day and I almost lost my mind. It was too crazy for me. I'm like, you gotta be a man and be able to
right. So in order to be out there on the streets, like the sister said, it was like something that she said, that's a man's job. It is, because you have to be a certain type of breed to go out there in the street to teach the Jesus Christ. You going out in the street to black people to teach about Jesus Christ, who they automatically think is a white, blonde hair, blue-eyed devil. You understand? And you got it, because remember, you're trying to reverse the classical conditioning. You're trying to reverse the conditioning paradigm in their brain. And when you try to do that, you can upset people. The truth about Christ is upsetting to people. It's a radical statement to talk about the truth about Christ. It's offensive to people. It's offensive to black people. It don't matter how dire the situation is in black people. You can think that if you go to the hood, they're going to be down with you because you're talking about Christ is black. And they not. They're going to hate you more for coming down to the ghetto on the bottom with the rats talking about Jesus is black and we are somebody and we ain't got to be on drugs. They will hate you for it. The community will hate you. So yes, you have to be a certain type of brother to be able to go out there and be able to have that kind of a lifestyle. That's why a lot of brothers come in here to the school and then they just leave. You just roll out because it might not be the type of life that you want. I want the life. I chose the life because, well, really, I didn't choose this life. The life chose me. But the reason I want this life is because I want a good seat in the kingdom of heaven. I don't want to be just in the kingdom of heaven with the righteous families there. I want to rule the righteous families that are there. You know what I mean? I want to be, you know what I mean? I want a good spot. You know what I mean? I want to be able to go in the temple. See what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference. It's levels to it. There's levels to it. Everybody ain't gonna be able to go in the temple. That's what I want. I want to be able to go there. And then when I die in the kingdom of heaven, I want to grow up and come back and do it all over again. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference with brothers that is in here. we're fighting for a good spot in the kingdom of heaven. It's a difference. You know, all Israel goes to the kingdom. Everybody, the scriptures say, all Israel shall be saved. But we're all not going to be in the same position in the kingdom of heaven. Right. Right. Don't think that we all going to be floating on pillows in the cloud. No, it's not like that.
Little wings.
Yeah, it has to be rulership. Go ahead.
No.
No, no sweat. All right. If he's y'all, all right, y'all got any questions out there? Go ahead.
I do actually have after that statement you made. So, is it possible that your family can get like a prophet's reward? Can your family, even though they might not be in the truth, can they get access to the kingdom because of your word?
All right, let me pull the scripture for you. Hold on, let me pull it for you. Salakia. All right, 1 Corinthians 7 and 14. You might have to go up a little bit. 1 Corinthians 7. Let me see. 1 Corinthians.
Ooh, okay. 14 is good.
1 Corinthians. Let me see. 1 Corinthians. Damn, you get there fast, man. 7 and where should I go? Should I go up a little bit?
Yeah. 13 is good.
All right. Okay, yeah, 13. 1 Corinthians 7 and 13. All right, y'all there? All right, so this is the best I could give you. Yeah, 7 and 13, warrior. No sweat.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians. Oh, so everybody got it? This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 13. And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife.
Right.
And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy.
So the things that we do, right? Maybe the Lord will have mercy on our family because you decided to put pork down when nobody else could do it. When you decided to put Valentine's Day and Christmas down when nobody else could do it. It was just too hard for them. That's why the Lord didn't pick them. He picked you. Not your mom, not your dad, not your sister, not your auntie. You know what I'm saying? He didn't pick them. And maybe, through the mercy of the Lord, he'll have, mercy on them to bring them through because of the sacrifice that you made. And that's what we pray for, and hopefully, Lord willing, it'll work. That what you just said. I feel the same way. My uncle passed away, and my uncle passed away. I prayed for my uncle on the other side, because my uncle's already on the other side. But I prayed for my uncle here on this side, that the Lord have mercy on him. You know what I mean? For the good works that I do here. Go ahead.
And like the scripture says, he hears the prayers of the righteous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But those who are in the world, you know what I mean? Just to paraphrase, like their prayers is nothing.
Right.
He's not going to hear.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I understand that, if they in the world and they not keeping the law, statutes, commandments, of course they're sinners.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But we try not to say that I can do something that'll keep the Most High keep them from judgment. You know what I'm saying? But I still can pray that the Most High just have mercy on them based on
right. Because in order for us to do our job, you have to love Black people.
Right.
You have to love Hispanics. I love Hispanics. I love Black people. I love them because it's like when we do food programs, I love to see them eat. Yeah. I love to see them talk. Right. You got to really love them, because if not, you're not going to be good for this type of job. You just going to just go to the crib because you don't really like niggas like that. So yeah, you know what I mean? You definitely have to, love your people to do this type of work. You got to be the type of person that is willing to be made a fool out of. You know what I mean? For the betterment of your people. Go ahead.
That's the one thing I really love about the UPK, man, the ISUPK, because like we take on this burden to say, you know, Father, look at us. You know what I mean? Look at us, and if we fall, then you know what I mean, then we not worthy.
Remember Moses. Remember the Lord said, you know what? I'm just gonna kill everybody and make a people out of you. You know, remember we've all been Mosesites, you know what I'm saying? But Moses said no, you know what I mean? He said, man, just give us one more chance, please, just let them do it. You know what I'm saying? And Moses pleaded with the Lord to just give us a chance. And that's the type of brother we gotta be. You can't be a 2/3 nigga. You know how a lot of these, cats be like, 2/3 of y'all gonna die. You're gonna die in the Third World War. Y'all gonna die. 2/3 of y'all are gonna go. Y'all gonna die. Why would you tell people that? Yeah. Why you know you ain't the 2/3? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't tell. Right. You don't tell people that they the 2/3. I don't want none of them to be the 2/3. I don't want none of them to be the 2/3. Go ahead.
When the Most High comes back, he's looking for a house without a spot or a wrinkle.
Mm-hmm.
If there's unbelieving people or sinners in his house, then won't Christ bypass the whole house?
But see okay. This is we're gonna get a scripture for you, but this is thing you got to understand too, is that the Lord has mercy on people too. Remember, the Lord was going to. You never know what could happen. Meaning this. The judgment is pronounced what will happen, right? But the Lord, remember when the Lord was going to destroy Nineveh too. He had Jonah prophesying that Nineveh was going to be destroyed. But they got themselves together and the Lord didn't kill them. See what I'm saying? So in this, we don't know what's going to happen in the span that this world war is going on. We just might come together. We just might get ourselves together and get right, and none of us be destroyed. See what I'm saying? So it's always that chance that it can change. The Lord gives us that chance. Go ahead.
He didn't want to deliver the message.
Right. Jonah didn't want to do it. I tried. I did have I was Jonah. I tried to leave Delaware camp. I tried to go take a job in Tennessee. I got on the bus. No, I drove down to Tennessee. I told the general, this is when Delaware school, I just got out, I got trained up in Philly, and I had everything I needed to know in Philly, but I had my officer test. I had my officer test. So I tell the general, I said, I want to take this job in Tennessee. It was moving cars off the train and taking them to the car dealerships. So he's like, okay, but if the Lord block it, just know that it's not meant to be. And I live like that. If I do something and the Lord block it, it's just not meant to be. So I'm down there. And I just could not sleep good. I'm watching Philadelphia. They was at camp. Because remember, that was my camp. I missed camp that Friday. That was the first Friday I missed. And all these white folks came up to the camp with these big crosses.
Damn.
The crosses were like, something that Christ would have got hung on. They was like big crosses. You know what I mean? They was doing the reenactment. Right. And I'm like, oh man, I missed that camp. Right? So I'm like, oh man. So I just kept thinking about camp. I could not sleep good. So I told my cousin, I said, as the days going by, I'm like, I gotta go home. But I tried to make up something. I was like, I gotta go home to check on my apartment. Check on the crib. She's like, you gotta go home and check on the crib. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go home and check on the crib. So I'm like, look, I need a ticket to get out of here because I didn't get paid yet. So I'm like, I need a ticket to get out of here. Could you give me a ticket? So she was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to get you a ticket. I was like, yeah, I'm going to just go home and just check on the crib. I'll be right back. But I was not going to come back. So she's like, every day after work, I'm like, did you get the ticket? She's like, oh, man, I forgot to get the ticket. Next day, I'm like, yo, did you get the ticket? Oh, I forgot to get the ticket, right? So it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm leaving today. Today, I'm out of here. So I was like, yo, take me to the bus station. They took me to the bus station. It was 12 hours from Nashville, Tennessee, back to Delaware. I got on that bus and drove all through the night, right? Get back home. And then I felt right. My spirit felt right. That was the well. The bus was the well. You see what I'm saying? I was down there and I got back in the well. And the well brought me back to where I had to go. And I've been here ever since. And now y'all are here, and that's it. You know what I mean? Psycology, you know, I'm not trying to be no preacher.
You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have what we have right now. You know what I mean? And now, not only do we have Wilmington, but now we building up Delaware South. And it's because of the work that you put in. You know?
Shit, man, most high in Christ, you know, and you know, that's all to the you know, the men that came before me, of course, you know. And when you got good leaders, it's easier for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because all you got to do is not reinvent the wheel. Right. That's it. Just chill. Come to class, put your boots on, go to camp. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Go to camp. What you saying? Right. Eat good food that the sisters is making, right? That the sisters is making. Eat the good food that the sisters is making, because they trying to get in the kingdom of heaven too. And they're going to get there by what? Cooking.
Scrabble sandwiches.
Right. Bring those scrabble sandwiches in here. Bring those pancakes. Bring that beef bacon and that turkey bacon.
That's right.
You feel me?
That's
like
right.
when the sisters support the priest, the sisters get to go to the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
That's how I go. Remember, Christ said, if as much as you have done to Salakia, if I'm paraphrasing, where he said, "You done unto you what you've done unto my little ones, you've done unto me."
Right.
That could be kind of jacked up, but what you have done unto the priest, you've done unto me. Right. So that's how you'll get recognized in the time of your judgment. The Lord will say, you know what? This person, and even if it is the concept of hell, if you want to go with the concept of hell, don't you want to, if people want to go with that concept, Christians want to go with that concept, don't you want to make it to heaven? You know, to the good spot. If there is a place that you go to and your spirit hangs out, don't you want to hang out in the spot where it's PlayStation 5s and chilling and all that good stuff? Why would you want to go to hell again? You know what I mean? In Christianity, it's like they just think everybody go to heaven. They had Young Dolph in Angel Wings. I said, damn, Young Dolph in Angel Wings with a halo above his head, and this nigga last one of his songs was 100 shots. Yeah, you know how like whenever somebody, the mural, Nipsey Hussle, a mural with wings. I'm like, damn, they like, he's up in heaven shining down on us. I'm like looking down. I'm like, damn, in Christianity, everybody goes to heaven. If we go with that, then Young Dolph has to be in hell. He has to be in hell. Like, you know, it does not matter in Christianity. Everybody goes to heaven. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen, that's heavy as hell, because that is exactly what they definitely do.
Can you talk a little louder so they can hear you?
That's exactly what they teach in the Christian church. Because this, hey, I'm gonna tell my own person. My father on his deathbed was like, "I love Jesus," and I was like, "God damn." You know what I mean? Like, and it was like, this was before I was in the truth. Right. But it was like, even me, I remember when I was being a Christian, I was like, I'm gonna wild out, I'm gonna do my thing. And you know, right before I died, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, you ever see the Dave Chappelle little skit where he be like, I love someone before I go. And I'm just gonna be like, I love Jesus. You know what I mean? Oh, man, that is definitely not how it goes, man. You know what I mean? You got to endure. You got to endure to the end. You got to fight the right fight. You gotta separate yourself from this world. You gotta take on the same thing that Christ took on. You know what I'm saying? That's how you show and prove that you deserve the kingdom.
So it's like, if you don't, it's kind of like you just like, remember, billions of people don't stand with the Lord. Right. Billions and billions of people don't stand with the Lord. You decided to stand with the Lord when billions of people didn't. You know what I'm saying? And so you're a special person. You don't want to throw the gift that the Lord has given you, the gift of waking up and being able to see the world from his perspective. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they don't see the world from our perspective. We see it from the Lord's perspective. So we can see it and be like, look at them, look at them, look at them. Oh my God, look at them. They can't see that perspective. They see the perspective of how you was before you got here. So you see the perspective of, you know, it's just like you got blinders on. You don't see no other perspective. So like even when say when we did the lecture this weekend, and I started doing my lecture, I seen somebody get up and walk out. Right. And I knew who it was that got up and walked out. It was somebody that I invited from my job or whatever. And it was one of the people that they all got up and walked out. So, and when I was at the slavery today, I was like, what happened? And she was like, yeah, the girl she just couldn't take it. She couldn't take it because it was too much truth. Sometimes you can't, when you try to disconnect people too fast, they can't take it because it's too much. It's just, oh my God, I just can't take it. And they'll leave and they'll run away from it because they're escaping pain. Just like that rat that gets shocked or that dog that gets shocked, you know, they just escaping the pain. It doesn't mean that the pain ain't still there. It just means that you just was allowed to just get a little bit of relief. But the truth can scare a lot of people. So a lot of times, you know, a lot of people will get afraid and, you know, you won't be able to do this work. But the main thing that you want to do is not give up. Right. Don't give up the fight. If you got an issue, then you figure out a way to fix the issue. And you got ways to fix it right here in the school. You know, you got a way to fix it. You got brothers that are going to fix it. That's crazy. I'm trying to tell you, councils ain't no joke. So the councils ain't no joke. So you just want to, you know, you going to the nigga court. It ain't like regular court. Because this court, imagine going to a judge that know the game. You know what I mean? Imagine going to that kind of judge that know the game. He just like you. He cut from the same cloth as you. You think you slick? Well, he's slick too. Right? So he's slick too. You like, well, I don't believe I recollect. What? You don't remember? You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got to do, right? We got to be aware of. All right. So we got to take back our power. That's right. Right? We got to take back our power. And what is our power? Our power is our brotherhood. That's right. Our sisterhood. That's our power. That's what we have to do. And we have to fight with that. Without that fight, without that brotherhood, then we're not even in the game. We're not even in the war because we don't even know what war is. Why? Because the oppressor teaches us what war is. We think that war is just what's going on in Russia right now. Yeah, it's more than that. That's because we allow the oppressor to define what war is. So you think just because we're not going, you know, tanks in M16s that we're not in a war, and we are in a war. We're all in a war, right? The sisters are in a war, the brothers are in a war. We got to fight the war and we got to be strong. You can't be, you know, you at a point, you can't just, you know, be a sister that's just like you can't be like that. At some point, you have to fight. You know what I mean? Brothers, you can't be the Salakia brother. Go ahead.
No, I get it, man. Man, like I was saying this on Sabbath service that our sisters, you know what I mean? Like when you think about these, when we go to war, you know what I mean? We out there battling, you know, for spirits, we battling things like that. One of the things, you're definitely cooking. You definitely want to do that. But what you also don't want to do is when your brother comes home, you don't want to add to, you know, any other issues. You see what I'm saying? Like right now in Ukraine, you got folks that's going to war. You got these men that's going to war. They don't want to be in that war, but they fighting. When they come home, you think they women is like, why didn't you call me while you was on your way?
Right, all that went out the window. They had the president out there. I did a video where the president had an M16. I said, that is good night. I said, that's how you do it. The president had, he had the tactical gear on. The president had the gun. And like, nigga, we fighting. I don't care. I'm going out there. Will Joe Biden ever do that? Would Joe Biden get out there and fight the cause for black people? No. He gonna fight that war from the office. I'll give it to the people from Ukraine. Yo, the president got out there. Yo, that is dope. The president got out there like, look, I'm getting out here too. They is not taking Ukraine. We're gonna fight into the death. That's how we got. That's the kind of spirit we gotta have. Like, we will fight to the death. But you can't fight to the death if your values are the same.
Right.
That's why the Black Panther Party don't work. You just walking around with guns. Because at the end of that, you still celebrating Christmas. You still celebrating Valentine's Day. You like, as soon as you get finished marching, you like, man, let me go get me a bear. And let me go get a couple roses.
Get some roses.
Come home like this, but with the gun on your back, like,
hey, sugar.
Yeah, it's like, you can't do it. It's just, it's not gonna work. Separation is the only answer. The real separation, not that separation that joins us, to another religion like Islam. That just joins us with Arabs. Right. And automatically we're going to be second-class citizens if we become Arabs, because that's not our religion. Right. Why not have a religion that's tailored towards you? You know what I mean? And your people. That's what you want. This life ain't easy. It's not an easy life, but it's not an easy life, but it's an easy life. Right. If I could say that, because really, this is what I want to do. Chill, lay back on a Sunday and just scratch myself and watch TV and crack my feet. Is that hard? Is that too hard to do? I can never do it though. But at the same time, that's what I want to do. Just lay back, chill, watch a good Netflix joint. I'm watching a good Netflix documentary right now. It's called Roommates from Hell. It's like about these squatters, people that come into your house and you let them stay there, and then they stay. Yeah, because they know the law. They know the law. Yeah, it's like 3 months and you can't get them out the crib, and they stay there at your crib. And then one dude, he even standing in some other lady crib, and he can't even she can't get him out. He ended up being there for 4 years. He changed the living room around, everything. To the point where they got so fed up that they started having parties every night. The lady was like, I gotta get him out here. I'm gonna have a party every night. Y'all better watch out, women. Go ahead. But guess what, right? It was a white lady, right? She was like, I couldn't get him out. She could not get this dude out of her house. This dude was known on the East Coast. He was known on the East Coast. When she Googled him and really got to the bottom of who he really was, she found out the name he gave her was a false name, but he was actually a known squatter that's known for this. So she basically, to get him out, she started having parties every night. And guess the music she was playing? Wu-Tang. Because he didn't like Wu-Tang Clan. And I said, well, if you really wanted to get him out, then all you had to do was have the niggas come over. The niggas would be like, yo, get out the house. Get out right now. I'm gonna give you, just get out. And then niggas would got up. That white man would have got up and walked out that door. Go ahead.
They actually have like a whole website, that these squatters all know about. Mm-hmm. That know about these houses that where people have squatted at. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people that realtors actually when they buy houses, they have to make sure that their house somebody hasn't been living in there for that amount of time. Because once they in there, you can't get them out. See, this is where we don't have that issue. Like, we don't have that issue. You getting out this house. You getting out. It's either you're gonna get out the easy way, or we just gonna beat you out this house. And I've seen it both ways. But at the same time, of course, I guess you said maybe somebody white will do it, right? Black people do it. Black people definitely do it. White people definitely do it. I got a brother that actually he buys property. He said, before he does that, he looks on this certain website. It's like an underground joint where to see if anybody has been squatting, because if they in there, it's pretty much almost impossible.
It's a remedy for everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's
but
easy. You know, in the hood, look, in the hood, you be like, yo, y'all want to make some money? Like, yeah. Be like, okay, go up there, and this dude, I want you to knock him out as soon as you see him. They're like, they're gonna be something. You gonna have one man with the camera because you know he got to catch it on World Star. Then you give him 100, him 100, him 100, and him 100, and they gonna go up there. They gonna go viral. I'm trying to tell you. Then you get them out the house. It's always a way. Everybody don't have to play the legal way all the time. Like, you getting out this house. If I got to get some broads to come up here and spank you, you getting out this house to rob a car. You get out this house. If I got to get some broads to come up here and spank you, you getting out this house. You know, if I got a house and you just squatting and you like, I ain't leaving. What? I'd rather burn the house down before I let you stay in here. All right. Let's get Ephesians 4:14. All right, Gia. Oh, Gia, watch that. All right, Gia.
4:14.
Yeah. Miriam Bath Yashikar. All right. Yahweh Shamal the Thumb by Shem Yahweh, sis. Awar Ayan Yasser Allah Khan. All right. Trooping the Halia. My dad too. Kana. What's going on? Yeah, she said heavy on bring the turkey scrapple sandwiches back.
Damn right.
That's right. Post that.
Damn right. It's high. That's cherries. Listen, even the general said that. So you already know what it is.
Gary Thompson. All right. Shalom Adawan. Lord of Christ, can you give me a breakdown on the tower in Genesis? Was it a literal tower, and what did Nimrod plan to use it for? Okay. All right. We can do that. All right, so the tower. Which one was the Tower of Babel, y'all? Which scripture was that? Was that Genesis 10? Genesis 10 about the Tower of Babel.
Which one?
It was a literal tower. Go ahead. It was a literal tower, but let me see. I think it was Genesis 10, right? The Tower of Babel, I think it was Genesis 10. Yeah, well, all right, hold that one, but I want to go here because I think the brother had a question. Let me check it out and see if I can help you out. Genesis, I think it's 10. I think that's the Table of Nations, right? It might be 9. It says, and the Lord went down and saw the tower. Genesis 11. Okay, Genesis 11. 11 and 9.
1 and 9. And the whole world has one language.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go through it real quick, if you could, Isaiah Ward, just so I can help the brother out.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Now the whole world had one language and a common speech.
That women, you read in NIV version.
God, dog.
You said a common speech. I'm like, wait a minute. Common? That didn't come into the language. Go ahead.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
Right. That's what the oppressor have been trying to do since this time right here. He want all people to come together, right? He wants a one world government, a one world, that's what NATO is about. Right. One world government, one world, everybody on the same, one world language, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to create the Tower of Babel again. Right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
Mm-hmm.
And they dwelt there.
Mm-hmm.
And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
So like thoroughly. And they had brick for stone and slime had they for mortar.
Right. That's the brick and mortar, right? You ever seen them like old like castles and stuff like that? How they used to build them real big, high castles. Like, I'm like, wow, how they like the ingenuity that they had back then. Like I was like, how they build a wall that tall? You know what I mean? Like them in Haiti, like those walls in Haiti, or when we was in Puerto Rico, the walls was like super high. I'm like, man, that fort wall is high. You know what I mean? A wall like 30 feet high in the air. You know, like, damn, that's high. You know what I mean? But because you don't usually see walls that high. But yeah, so it was the same thing back then. All right, go ahead.
And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded.
Right. So this is a tower. Yes, this is the same thing. You know how like they try to bring. Remember when the Twin Towers got knocked down? They tried to build one. It was called one.
Tower One.
Yeah, Tower One. Like they try to build one tower that's 190 floors. You know what I mean? That's like super tall. Like they.
Two towers on top of it.
Right. They're trying to take the two towers and make them just one long big tower up into heaven.
Right.
That's exactly what they was trying to do.
That's right.
They want everybody to come together. The oppressor always wanted to try to do that again. He always wants to be one nation, indivisible, under God. Remember, I know we said it in church, and justice for all, right? That's all they wanted to do since the Tower of Babel got destroyed. But the Lord seen what was going on, and the Lord was like, you know what? Nah, this ain't going to happen. Because the minute we get together, what happens? We started embracing homosexuality. We started embracing transgenderism. We started embracing sexual confusion in children. We started embracing drug use. We started embracing, being a devil worshiper. You know what I mean? We started embracing black magic. We started embracing anything you want to do. Because when we all come together, that's what happened. The wickedness just keeps flowing. Before you know it, we'll be marrying our dogs. We'll be marrying horses. We'll be doing, bestialities out there right now. Every evil thing that could be conceived, that's what will happen if we all come together. And the Lord does not want that.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one.
The people are what?
Is one.
Mm-hmm. And what have the oppressor been trying to do? Make us what? One. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Kind. That's always been their whole agenda.
Mm-hmm.
When we were talking about Antioch,
mm-hmm.
they even then they were saying we should be all one people.
Right, all one people in the Apocrypha. Yep.
And what's that? First Maccabees 1 and
yeah, when they said they wanted everybody to just be one people.
One people.
Uh-huh.
It's always been their whole agenda,
mm-hmm.
even to this very day. You know what I mean?
And
nation under God.
And that's why Vladimir Putin is fighting back.
Right.
Because the NATO sees with NATO. NATO is one. Actually, he's the right one in this conflict. He's fighting to get Ukraine because he doesn't want them to completely surround him like the way that they are. So that's why he's fighting back. You know, you like that. But that's exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want. That's why he got to get it, because it's strategic in warfare. You know what I'm saying? So actually, if you want to look at it, I guess if you want to look at it kind of like from a moral standpoint, he's trying to fight globalists off. Because remember that it's only like a couple of dictators that's left that's not like puppets of America and the rest of the world. You know, one being Russia and the other being China and the other one being North Korea. Yeah, it's only a couple that dictators left in the world. The rest of them just already got replaced. Right. Yeah, like Gaddafi replaced, Saddam Hussein replaced, the cats over in Iran replaced, them cats in Saudi Arabia replaced. They all are okay with European influence. They're all cool with the West. Yeah, they totally different. Them cats in Saudi Arabia don't even wear, like, all of them don't even be wearing them robes and stuff. They wear suits with ties, with a tie. That's Western culture, a tie. Them cats from China, they wear suits and ties. That's Western culture. Yeah. Go ahead.
You bringing out some heavy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So So I have seen some more stuff with Salaki, if I may. Verse 8. Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
Mm-hmm.
And this they begin to do.
Right, because remember the language that everybody has to get on with if you want to get ahead is what? English. So it doesn't matter if if you whatever country you in, Africa, wherever you at, if you want to get ahead, you gotta know English. Go ahead.
And now nothing will be restrained from them.
Right.
Which they have imagined to do.
Right. Anything the oppressor decides to do, nothing to be restrained because we're all together.
Right.
We're all one. So I hope that answers the brother question. Yeah, I hope that answers his question. Yes, it was a literal tower, and what Nimrod planned to use it for was with the same thing Donald Trump are planning to use it for, and everybody else planning to use it for was to all come together and be one people. Integration. That's integration right there in the Bible. Thousands of years ago. That's what they always tried to attempt to do, was integrate all the races together. All right, you got where was you at, Zerabakar?
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14.
Yeah, I need you to go loud, so the people home can hear you. Loud. Say no, I'm just funny. That's the best with it.
That's right.
That's right.
You know how we do that.
It's the book of Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children.
But no more what?
Children.
No more what?
Children.
Tossed
to and fro.
That's what we are. Children in America. Tossed to and fro. Everywhere we go. We're just children that just want to just get on TikTok and just bow. That's all we want to do on TikTok. That's all we want to do on TikTok.
That's right.
Nah. That's all we want to do. Like children. Even the women who talked about TikTok said that's a child's app. Where are they at right now?
On TikTok.
Bow. And it got to you too. It got to you. It got to you. I see you. It got to you. Yeah, because now the adults follow the children.
Right.
Not the other way around like it used to be. The adults follow the children now. I seen a grandma on TikTok. She was doing the.
Yes, sir. So
she was doing that too. A grandmom. She had followers because she was a granny. And that's what she was doing, following the children. I said, damn. I had posts stopped on TikTok because of hate speech. I had stuff taken down. My TikTok is about to be done. Yeah, I got 25,000 followers, but it's about to be done. I went on somebody's live on TikTok and I said something like racist, and she was like, she like automatically checked. She was like, you got 25,000 followers and you talking like that, Yeah. Because they add, how like sometimes they do the stitch where you can stitch something, and somebody said, what is something that black people need to know right now? And I said they need to get away from the oppressor. I didn't say the oppressor. I said they need to get away from the WP. Yeah, the WP, and stop trying to convince them to change their attitude about us. And then the video went up, like the algorithm just pushed the video, and like 2 hours, I had like 7,000. I had like 7,000 views, and I had like 200 comments. They shut it down. they removed it for hate speech. They removed it for hate speech because of what I said, the way that I said it, because it's too real. You know what I'm saying? But we don't understand it because, like the scripture said, we can't be children no more. Tossed to and fro. We got to be concerned with things that are serious. Right? That's what we have to do. No more tossed to and fro. Read on.
And carried about with every wind of doctrine.
Right. Right. Okay. Keep going.
By the sleight of men.
And
cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Right. So we just want to be everything, right? We just want to be, you know, part of. We want to say something, Warrior? Go ahead. You got it, Warrior. Yep. Yep. You got it, Warrior. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Everyone the doctrine. Every single thing that comes along. Yeah, we want to be integrationalists. We want to be everything under the sun. Go ahead.
No, it's like everything but what we call it to be.
Mm-hmm. Which is priest.
And we're doing it, so like if I may, sir, and we're doing it just to please the oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's heavy as hell right
A
there.
lot of women are witches now.
Right.
You ever notice that?
They got the sage and all that.
A lot of women are witches now. A lot of Wiccans. Is that Wiccan? Is that what they call it? Wiccans?
Yes.
A lot of women are witches now. On TikTok, it is as soon as I hit on somebody's live, she's shuffling the deck. Like, I'm about to give you your reading. Hold on. It says you're gonna be rich and famous. It says you're gonna come out with a CD. That's the one I want. That's the one they give everybody. You're gonna be rich. You're gonna have a CD, and you're gonna have cars. Anybody will join that religion.
You're gonna give it's like it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't no far from Christianity.
No.
Because Christianity, all they do is they play on the law of attraction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
more psychology.
More psychology. Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's controlling. If I can tell you you're going to get this, then that's what you're going to get. If I tell you, if I may,
mm-hmm.
when you go to a car dealership, right? And the car dealer says, "Hey man, you're going to get this Optima," and you say, "You know what? I don't think I want that." When you leave that car dealership, when you're driving home, you ain't gonna see nothing but Optimas on the road,
mm-hmm.
all over the place, because that's the law of attraction. Because if they put it in your head that that's what you're going to get, so now it's in your head that's what you want. So when you go back in there, that's what you want to go. All right, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I want that Optima.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Christianity does. Christianity says, you know what? I see a number.
Mm-hmm.
And the number I see is 177. You're going to get a house for $177,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to do. You're going to look for every house for $177,000.
Damn, you was convincing. You had me thinking I was about to get a house. You had me thinking I was about to get a house for $77,000.
I'm ready to get a house.
Damn.
And guess what? You know what you're going to do? You're going to give that $1,021 because this is year 2022. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get $1,022 because by giving that $1,022, that's going to give you that blessing that pastor said that you was going to get.
Mm.
And that's how they play on you. That's why it's tax season. Tax season is around right now.
Yeah.
It's a pastor right now in your church that's playing off of knowing that you're getting tax money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what they're saying? Give me $1,022.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to give that. And guess what? When you get in that line, he's going to say, you're going to get this. And you weren't even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? You're going to go get it. And that thing is going to cause you all types of hell.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pay that monthly mortgage or you're going to pay that monthly car payment and you can't afford it. And guess what you're going to be wishing for? Another week-to-week blessing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that church.
Right.
Like it's the law of attraction.
Yeah, them African churches, boy, they tell the women lay down. All y'all lay down. I'm about to give all y'all a beating. I'm about to spank all of y'all. Mm. Yeah, you got a big old wrong. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Get all that. Go ahead. Yeah. They got the Africans are the dumbest Christians. Yeah, they're the dumbest.
I see some shit. He was like, you got the things like a big demon in you, and she was like,
oh man, you gonna get it shut down, man. All right, y'all. Oh man, we got 32 people in here. All right. All right.
You started that. That's your fault.
All right.
That's how they be, man.
All right. Hazahab in the building.
Hey,
all right, Hazahab. All right, Officer Hazahab, 5,000.
That's right.
Okay, so Slaki. All right, so the water to all y'all brothers and sisters, man. I appreciate y'all coming in here tonight. I appreciate y'all rocking out with us tonight. Of course, you know, we've come to the end of the class. If y'all got any questions, save them for next week. We got we'll be on here Thursday.
That's right.
We're gonna get it on like that, and just understand that the foundation of anything it lies within the brotherhood and the sisterhood of the brothers and the sisters, of course. And it's not just brotherhood; it's sisterhood as well as, you know, too. So, you know, so sisters, man, get yourself together. Brothers, get yourself together too, and let's do this thing the right way and the only way. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the class. I'm going to turn it over to Precinct Officer Zarai Bakar.
That's right. See you.
Can you turn the camera, please?
This is the ISUPK security announcements. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21. Malachi 3:8-10. Means 10. Ma'asharah means 10th in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give
to the school.
Give to the school. Priest fund is a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations is the Passover, April 15th.
That's right.
It's gonna be in Cocoa.
It's gonna be in Cocoa Beach, Florida.
That's right.
So tickets is $200, and start arranging your flights and hotels now. It's kind of late, but you know, get there. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black: boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, men of Israel, Amijam, which means to stand. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yajmatah. Sar.
So what you want to do is like let them know, let the brother know what we just said in Hebrew.
All right, we said Yahweh, which is Lord, bless you in the name of Jesus Christ.
Most High in the name of Christ, bless you.
Most High in the name of Christ, bless you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then sisters Amijam, we're gonna give the sisters a courtesy salute. So men of Israel, Amijam Shabbat, Amijam Barak.
Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba'Shem Yahushua.
And what we just said was, Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Okay. Class dismissed.
That's right.
I get better with that. Hey,